So my first meeting today is with Andrew Lamb here at Bob Evans. On the way here, I saw something that's very similar to my video that I released yesterday called Meanwhile, where Samuel grew in the presence of the Lord. It says in Luke chapter 1, verse 80 about John the Baptist, that the child continued to grow and become strong in spirit and lived in the wilderness. We're told in Hosea that the wilderness is where God draws us to speak kindly to us. And in Song of Solomon, we see the bride coming out of the wilderness, leaning on the beloved. So the wilderness represents solitude with God. And it is here in John the Baptist's life we see solitude with God is where John the Baptist grew strong in spirit and grew in the Lord. You just can't get away from it. Time alone with God is everything.
Hey guys, yeah, spending time with Eric here, we just found ourselves getting onto the topic of belief and unbelief, and I just started resonating inside of me, and I gotta tell you, I'm at a place in my life where I'm taking account of the difference between what I believe in my head and what I believe in my heart, because there is all kinds of mental assent to religious sayings in the church that mean nothing if they're just stuck in our head. Let me encourage you with this. Just take a moment, take some time, spend some time with Jesus. Let him offend you, let him offend your mind, and revealing places of unbelief inside of us. And it will always manifest in the things that are tripping us up and keeping us from walking in the fullness of what we're designed to walk in. I think sometimes we fill ourselves with wanting to I need to do more of this, more prayer, more fasting. Those things are wonderful. They're great. Keep doing it. I do it. I follow the Holy Spirit and all of that stuff. But take time to recognize that sometimes it's not the addition of things that we need to do in our life, but recognizing the places of unbelief that keep us from fully accessing our destiny and what God has called us to do. So I hope that encourages you.
Yeah. Love you, man.
All right, love you too, brother. So good, so good. All right, man. Sounds good.
And now I'm heading downtown to meet with Chris Garcia, my assistant, to talk about the upcoming events and things like that. And of course, Jesus. Yeah. So Shake Shack is probably my favorite burger in town.
All right, okay.
Burgers,
I'm down.
It's crazy. Andrew, who I just met with before, was reading Luke chapter 1 just like I was. And we were talking about how the angel came to Zacharias and to Mary and delivered news to both of them, but they both responded differently. Zacharias responded with a question, how do I know this is true? And the angel made him dumb until the birth of his son. But Mary asked the question as well, responds with a question as well, but her question is, but I'm only a virgin. So her question is of her ability. Zacharias' question was of whether or not this is legitimate. And this hit me that it's the unbelief that was in Zacharias that caused repercussions that were unnecessary. But it was Mary's humility that caused her to receive and be blessed. Yes, we just had a fantastic meeting. And I'm just gonna give it to him, you know? I'm gonna put the camera right on his face and I'm gonna say, just tell him what the Lord is saying.
There's an element of like, yes, spending time that individually with him, but then there's another aspect of abiding where you come out of your secret place and you, throughout your day, you're with him, you know? And so like as I'm driving, the Lord is reminding me to connect with him even as I'm driving, as I'm working, as I'm responding to emails, as I'm talking to friends, always connecting with him. So even though I'm out of the closet, I'm still connecting with him. You know what I mean? So it's all about Jesus.
So we just ran into some Jesus school students. Salam, tell them what's up.
Hey guys, I was with my fiance and we just run into Eric. He's an amazing man of God.
Tell them why they should come to Jesus school.
Jesus school is just kind of like teach your heart just to sit at Jesus' feet, which is the one thing. And you're just gonna hear so many people talking about different subject, but they all talking about one thing, which is Jesus. And that's why we're here. We just wanna worship him and give him what he deserves.
Love you, man.
All right, bro. See you tomorrow. Yeah, so done with the meetings, about to head home. Man, I was just thinking about how A.W. Tozer said that faith is like an eyeball, or the eyeball of faith. It is how I see, but it never sees itself. It's so important that we recognize that our eyes of faith are to be occupied with the object of our affection and attention. That's what faith is for. It is not to see itself. As a matter of fact, once faith tries to see itself, it ceases to be faith. Faith is like an eyeball. By it I see, and it never looks at itself. Hey guys, some of you have been asking us how you can support our YouTube channel. You've been blessed by the videos, the short films, short teachings, and the instrumentals. Listen, if you don't know about Patreon, there is a way to support our YouTube channel with $1 a month. And I will leave the link underneath this video for how you can become a patron, a literal supporter of our YouTube channel for $1 a month. And I thank you so much for those of you that have asked about this. The link is down below. God bless you.